Video game bang, video game bang, video game bang. Video game. Mega Brand. Live from the sack, it's the livest. In fact, I'm putting rhymes on this track to put my guys on the map. Updates, geek news, tech talk, and reviews. They can summarize it so you ain't gotta breeze through. Listen once and you're forever fans. And I'm not saying it because their theme song features Mega Ram, the ultimate source of all geek media. Other podcasts, they just don't match up. Need proof? You can check the archives and catch up. Stats off the chain, we have rearranged the game. It'll never be the same. Now it's time to feel the
bang. What is up, my pizzas? Corey Vincent here, Video Game Bang, coming at you live with a holiday episode. Let's go, holidays. Joining me is a guy who I've known for a lot of years, apparently. I just realized we've been friends for what?
For about 8 years.
Oh, no, we've known each other for 8 years. We've been friends for about 3 months?
That's true, because I remember the first time I saw you, you were playing the drums, and I'm like, who is this fool?
Yeah, strictly business,
Strictly
you and
business,
me, until recently. We started mixing business with pleasure, and it's been great.
We started drinking together, staying over the house, all that kind of stuff.
Speaking of which, Fast Eddie always comes to the house with knowledge. He brought me a beer that had lactose in it, so I've been afraid to drink it. He just walks out to my fridge and grabs my beer, comes in the house and starts rolling it gently across the table. Like, why? What were you doing, man?
Because you got beers that have different kinds of sediments. This one happens to be a milkshake IPA, so because of that, you have to make sure you slowly roll it on there without shaking it, so you can mix up all the stuff that's in the actual can.
So,
rather than go like, all right, I'm gonna serve this for you, and then like, and then there goes the entire.
That's how I drink a beer.
Exactly.
Joining us on the show, she's become a staple of the Video Game Bang. I'm glad to have her back as always, Lexie. How you doing?
Good.
Just dabbing all over the place.
Sorry, I'm excited.
She's excited. I mean,
what are you so excited about?
I don't know. I'm just excited about life.
That's why we love having you on the show.
She says that while she's shaking. I'm just excited about life.
Well, I'm glad you're.
What part of Sacramento did you get this girl from?
She's not from Sacramento.
Oh, really?
She's not from Sacramento. Huh. Yeah, she's an outsider.
Ooh.
Outsider.
Another outsider. Actually, let's come around back to that. But we got to introduce this next one because as happy and jolly as Lexie is, now it's time to find the yin to the yang.
I was gonna say, is that why you had them both on?
I wanted to see what would happen when true opposite, because Nexy here, she is. She's like the nicest. You guys are both equally nice. It's not like she's mean, but as cheery and chipper as you are, take that. She's Nexy stands for nexistential, and she lets things bother her, and she kind of like will bring up.
I just have crippling anxiety.
I guess. Nexy, I'm so glad to have you. I have Lexie and Nexy and the yin and the yang. Where have you been?
I've just been living. I don't know.
Well,
I've just been living.
She's been living.
Yeah.
She's been
as long as she hasn't been dying, we're okay.
No, during my break from everything, I've just kind of been chilling. I took a trip, my very first trip over to the East Coast. Only my second flight that I've ever done in my life.
What'd you do out there?
I went to Boston and I went to visit my boyfriend for Halloween.
Your boyfriend?
Yeah, my boyfriend.
For Halloween?
Yeah. It's our favorite holiday.
All right.
Okay.
I can't argue with that.
We went to Salem, Massachusetts for Halloween.
That's so romantic.
Jesus.
It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Nothing like walking up to the places where witches were burned and persecuted. It just
On the
warms
day
the
of
cockles of my heart.
The fire in which they were burned.
Exactly.
warmed my heart.
Burns deeply within their romance and passion.
Man, I read a weird quote today. I can't even remember who posted it, but it was like, hey, relationships are not a community-based event. They're for two people, so it's not for you to understand or help contribute to. So when Nexy's talking about going to Salem, Massachusetts to look at dead bodies with her new boyfriend.
As long as her and
We
Boo
didn't
are
see
cool.
any dead bodies. I'm really
That
sad
you know
about
of,
that.
actually.
Yeah, that
Ooh.
Oh, that you're really sad about that?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
really
okay.
hoping to just break into an abandoned house or something.
Lexie, say something, please.
I don't know if I could even beat that or say anything to that. I'm just like, well, okay.
Yeah, hi, nice to meet you.
I
by
mean,
the way.
I get you though, because I like Wednesday Addams stuff and stuff
There you
like that.
go.
So I got you.
She likes the Wednesday Addams.
I like the Wednesday.
Maybe that was the
Addams.
first clue because Nexy. I'm gonna mix up Lexie and Nexy so many times.
Lenexi.
Lexie.
Nexy, you don't
It's
know.
the next ship.
You don't happen to know where Lexi's from either, right?
No.
All right, so we're gonna make a game out of this.
This is ridiculous.
By the end of
we're
the
spending
show.
part of the show figuring out where somebody's from.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
That's why people do background checks for this kind of stuff, Corey.
I did my. I know. All right, because I am a good listener and talker, so I listen when she tells me where she's from, and you can pick up on her accent a little tiny bit if you listen sometimes. See now.
Now she's gonna stop talking. Great. All our clues gone out the window now, Nexy.
Suddenly the accent switches.
Right? She's like,
She's
well,
Irish.
y'all ain't never gonna get where I'm from now.
So
Oh man.
I think by the end of this show, if you listen to enough of what she says and her background, maybe things will slip. And I think you guys should be able to figure out where she's from.
Do you call it soda or do you call it pop?
What kind of question is that?
That's a legit question. Do you call it soda or do you call it pop?
I think we all call it both.
No.
Where you're from,
Yeah, where
What do
you're
you
from,
call
they
it?
may say. But I've never heard one Californian say pop.
but I've heard a lot of Midwesterners say pop.
I've never really. I mean,
Oy, este niña. She's like, well, I've never said it.
All right. Eddie and Nexy, you get one question at the beginning of the show, one question towards the middle of the show, and one at the end, and then you got to guess where she's
Just
from.
ask her where she's from. She has to answer.
No, she doesn't have to. answer
Nah,
that.
not
That's
that one.
cheating.
That's cheating.
That's cheating. Yeah.
So, Eddie, is your question the pop question?
No,
or
'cause
can you
she's
come up
not
with a
gonna
better
answer
one. Come up with a good question.
Think hard
Think hard.
about it.
Who's your favorite sports team?
The Colts.
The Colts.
It doesn't mean she's from there, but
No, it doesn't mean she's
Yeah.
from there, but is it the Colts?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
of all sports, you'd go football team, the Colts.
Yeah.
I thought
Well,
it'd be
she's not
some
gonna-
League of
Should I-
Legends team or something.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No.
okay.
She already said.
But I do like League of Legends, so that's
Oh, okay.
that's an extra for you.
Nexy, you have a question that you think could help narrow this down?
Yeah, does where you're from actually have seasons?
Ooh, that's a great one.
Yes,
Actually,
it
I
does.
bow down to a
Oh.
higher power.
It does.
So,
Oh,
Like
yes.
we actually have like
as in more than like two, hot and
it
cold.
snows.
it's
Well, here
Snowed.
it's just hot. And
It's
it
slightly
snowed
hotter.
before.
Yeah.
It snowed before a few times.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
it
That should
snowed
help
in
you
Reading
guys.
There you
before
go.
too. If you guys didn't know, I'm from Reading, so that kind of explains why I'm the way that I am. So
nobody
Is it-
wants to claim.
Is it because of the church up there? Is that why you decided?
no, it is not because of Bethel.
Like opposite direction I go, and
Nobody likes to claim Reading. Like
No.
NorCal is like
unless you're selling something.
Sacramentans are like Reading. No, that's way.
know what I'm
up
talking
north.
about.
Oh my god.
That's way up north. We're
Reading.
north- yeah.
It's like you want to buy some trees, and just literal trees, not other kind of trees. Okay, keep
Yeah,
going.
you can buy those anywhere.
You can buy those anywhere now, actually.
So next thing you found love. You guys traveled across
Yeah.
the country for your first trip.
That was your cue. You were supposed to say the
In
line.
a hopeless place.
There we go. Okay.
She found love in a hopeless place.
my whole life is a hopeless place, so you're not wrong.
Jesus, Nexy. I thought
You're gonna have to have both of these on all the time to have that balance.
The reason why I was really excited to dig into Nexy's love life is because I thought when I first heard that she'd found, love, I was like, oh, maybe this is going to be like, she's not going to be so dreary. Maybe she's going to be,
I can't.
maybe she's going to like have hope and glimmer.
Don't be
And
dark.
Hope and glimmer. She's gonna come in a
But you
pink
know what?
dress
You know
and a
what?
bow on her hair.
Oh my god.
You know why the night is dark? So we can see the stars.
oh my God, that was,
Hold on.
you actually made us sick.
Yeah,
with
that was doing the most.
Could have been the sediment
Doing the
lactose
most.
beer though.
Yeah.
I mean,
It just it hit me strong. Right
No,
there.
that was
I had to
definitely
go
that.
into
I-
poetry mode.
Big enough to choke on there for a second.
have you noticed a change in your mood though, Nexy? Has it been an improvement?
Yeah, it definitely has. I kind of feel like there's more of a reason to like
Don't say
get up
live.
and
Just-
not live.
Okay. I'm just saying.
No, let her talk.
No,
let her talk.
there's-
I want to hear this.
I feel a lot more like just motivation, and my days don't feel like boring. The only sad thing is that like when I came back from my trip to go see him, like I didn't realize, because we were up in like northern New Hampshire for most of the trip, and it was gorgeous. Like all the trees were just like reds and yellows and greens, and I was just like, oh my god, life has color. And then I come back to California and I'm just like, wow, everything sucks.
Wow.
Come to
Call out California.
the Sunshine State where that bomb ass hemp beat.
But the amount of sunshine just makes everything seem so dull. Like all the trees are dead, all the grass is dead. Like does it really matter?
Everything's dead.
Exactly.
Wow.
But
That's
honestly, like I took a hiatus from doing a lot of things, like even doing like artwork, like commissions and things like that, because I do emotes and sub badges and everything for other streamers, and I took a break from that for a very long time, and I just yesterday actually opened my commissions back up because I actually have that like motivation to like get work done, and it's such a nice feeling. Like my days kind of feel like longer and like I'm doing more things instead of just kind of lounging around all the time and just being bored.
and
that was just my life.
Is that because of him in your life, or is that because of having a relationship?
It's because of like him specifically. Okay. Like if this is gonna sound so sappy, but if
you can't top hers, it's okay.
We've already thrown out one.
I've already choked. It's okay. You're good.
If soulmates, like there's I don't even know words. Words can't formulate a sentence that does justice to how I feel about this relationship. Like,
wow,
that's huge.
If it's not soulmates, then soulmates doesn't exist. Like this is like the relationship.
That's half mine, I think.
Like there's you feel like honeymoon phases and things like that, but this feels so different, and that's why I'm so quick to like.
Well, and that's the thing about like any relationship in terms of like that. Like, it doesn't matter if, because a lot of people make fun of that, like, oh, you're in the honeymoon phase or whatever. If you're feeling it in that moment, then it's real to you, and it's real to him, and that's what matters most. And however the direction goes, not to put any kind of different directions, because you guys obviously want this to work, but no matter what, however you feel right now in the moment is the most real to you right now, and it's what matters the most.
Yeah, it feels like so much different from like anything else I've ever felt, and that's why I'm so sure about it, and we have like this mutual understanding of it. So I don't know, I've never wanted to put my all into somebody like this before.
Good.
So
jeez,
there you go.
Yeah,
well,
you wanted sappy Nexy, and here I am.
We got it.
I'm like, I gotta get my life in order now.
I know.
I gotta get my crap together.
Dang. Well, there's a lot going on in the world of video games and just the world in general. It's that time of year. It's November, time to be with family. I'm sure you guys are listening to this, could be on a plane, going to see some family. And the most exciting thing about this time is those Black Friday deals.
Shoot.
Anybody make Christmas lists on Amazon, or how do you guys keep track of what you want?
I got the Amazon big, what is that big list or whatever that came in the mail.
Oh,
wait. The toy list?
What else?
Yeah.
You act like that's a...
I was confirming because I got the same one, and I was like looking through the toys, and then I see in the front there's like this list. I'm like,
freeze.
Would I get
Take a quick look around this studio. What you see?
But bruh,
I don't see
it's like
I
Barbies
see toys
and stuff. And
they
like,
got pops. And they had game boards.
They did not.
Yeah, they did. They even had the new Funkoverse board game.
Okay.
What's wrong with it?
Because I got it circled for Santa.
And first of all, what's wrong with Barbies? I mean, don't we all have a secret room in our house loaded with Barbies that we play with?
I guess.
I mean, I got mine.
Yeah.
I guess.
Come on, don't play.
Okay.
Don't play.
I secretly have my list. Let's be honest.
So you got the booklet that came that had all the toys in it, and then what do you do with this? It's from Amazon. Do you mail it back to them? Or?
No, it just makes me keep a list. There's obviously other stuff in there, like for my nephews and nieces and all them that are probably gonna want stuff. I'm like, all right,
probably,
maybe, or I'll just buy it all.
Fucking kids,
exactly.
But they give you like a specific, like there's a list you can break out and like write in your wish list.
People still do that, huh?
Oh yeah,
on paper.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the only way.
I go to the Galleria a week before Christmas, sit on Santa's lap like, homie, I want this. Make it happen.
Wow.
But also
no joke.
Amazon, like I have like a ad list, so or wish list.
Oh yeah, the wish list.
Yeah, so I just add stuff there.
What's on there?
We're all gonna get little emails like, I want this. Lexie wants this.
I usually have like pretty much like geek, like little Funko Pops and stuff.
Judging me over here. Got your own list.
But this
Shoot.
year, I'm trying to find the best deals for like streaming equipment. So if you guys have any suggestions, as far as like a camera,
Sweetwater, you got
like
Oh,
monitor.
so
So I can't just
that
go
kinda-
out like.
So yeah, you gotta have 2 monitors. Streaming is an endeavor.
I got a
thing,
monitor
I have
stand.
to slowly like build up to it. So I'm trying to figure out what should I get first because I can't get like the massive like desktop first.
You know what you got to do?
So-
You should, Cory. You should put out a parts list of how you built your studio for like,
that's
hey,
cool,
if you want to build your own in-home studio,
Here's how to do it.
here's
Oh.
the.
You know what the problem with that is?
What's that?
Technology goes so fast that the studio we have here in VGB, when we created this probably like 4 years ago, there was nobody doing this type of thing.
No.
With this many microphones and cameras and
Dude,
live streams.
I remember
and stuff.
when you were at work working on this when we were supposed
Yeah.
to be doing work.
Well, and then pulling somebody in on Skype is hard. Like to do a mix minus pass, you need to have a separate sound card,
Yep.
and so it took a lot of work to build this thing. But some new equipment has come out like in the last year and a half that takes all this shit that I put thousands of dollars time and effort soldering the wires myself. And now there's like a little. They're actually badass. I can't remember the name of the company, but it's like a mixer.
You know what though? Here's the thing. Because I remember when you started this damn project, and I remember you just were like, okay, I'm gonna build a studio table. I'm gonna build it all inclusive. You had all the plans drawn out. You were building stuff on the computer, making designs. You're like, I don't know if I want to put it like this or I want to put it like that. This was a passion project, so I don't think no matter what equipment's out there,
the heart is in
this table.
Yeah, but
no matter how much it creaks.
If some other silly,
I love
what I'm
that.
saying is, if some other silly bastard comes up to me and wants to do this same thing, I'd be like, "Don't do what I did."
I mean, it looked like every day that you were working on it, you could tell that you were building towards a singular goal, and that was what this was.
I'm proud of it. I give it shit, but just like I give everything that I love.
We're proud of you, Cory.
That's why you do that to me. Okay,
It's when I
cool.
found this table that I realized what love really was.
Yeah.
I never knew before.
Taking it to Salem and
I'm just trying to match Nexie. I just wanted to match Nexie's, but it didn't even come close.
no,
You
I
can
mean,
No, it just made me like question your relationship with your wife.
Oh,
no, she understands.
she gets it.
She totally
and
gets
she's
it.
happy about it.
And on next week's stream, we will have trees and fall colors in here for him to have this relationship with
we
the
do
table.
have to do that.
I
Actually,
mean,
Something to decorate.
it's true.
Nexie, do you have like a list kept somewhere, or what are you trying to get for Black Friday this year?
Honestly, like, I'm not really looking
She's like,
for anything.
honestly, I don't need anything anymore now that I've
Wow.
found.
No, I mean, it does sound really sappy, but the fact that Kenny's like moving in, it's enough of
Whoa,
a
whoa,
gift.
whoa! He's moving in.
We got a name
Already?
drop.
And a name drop.
He's also in chat right now, by the way.
Who dat?
It's
I know.
Mythros.
And Mythros is actually
So-
a very good streamer.
He is.
Yeah, I
He
know.
actually he recently did a 48-hour stream, charity live stream
Wow.
at the G Fuel house.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So he got to partner with that, and that was super awesome. I'm really proud of him.
But come on, what do you want him to buy you then? Like,
Right. This is your one opportunity.
This is the time.
he's literally
to be
in
alive
the
and
chat
tell her.
listening, and there's pressure because if he does it, then he's gonna let not just you down,
He's gonna
all
let
of
us
us
all,
down.
yeah.
That's true.
Exactly.
It's like I want a crystal skull on a necklace, and
No, I just
I need
want,
a
like,
diamond
straight up, like,
headless
human
bat
skull.
on my finger, and
No, we have actually looked at websites that sell like bones
No
and
way.
stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
oh, oh,
But
oh.
he did actually already buy me something. I have no idea. He's like given hints, and I have no clue.
Give
at
us
all
the
what
hints
it
and
is.
see if we could figure it out.
Give us a hint.
It was just like stuff that was talking about like, oh, you're gonna love the way that it was made, and so it's like a handmade gift, but it's like more expensive. But I'm just like, I don't know what this could be. It's I don't know.
It's an Xbox One.
Not made by machine was one of his hints. So I
Wait,
just have
not
no
made
clue.
by machine.
Yeah, because we were talking about like I'm going to appreciate the way that it was
it's from
made.
Etsy. It's from Etsy.
But
Etsy makes some dope stuff.
No, seriously.
what?
No,
What do you guys
I'm
think
like,
it
what?
is?
it's a skeleton.
I'm going.
I was gonna say it's
if
probably
it's
like
handmade. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. What do you like?
I feel like it's a
like,
lamp of a witch always burning in your room. Like that's,
a burnt
like
eternal
an eternal
type
flame
thing?
glass blown
Yeah.
witch burning on the stake.
Ooh.
So
Which
at the stake, not on the stake.
So Kenny, if you hear that, if it's not that, I'm gonna be disappointed.
We're gonna be all be very not just Nexy, all of us.
All of us.
You see him in his
Very-
Pressure
room,
is
like
on.
We're gonna be
figuring out how to make this thing.
we're gonna be pissed, Kenny.
Oh, his clues have been just leading her in a circle.
Honestly, like
You know what else is a circle? An Xbox logo. It's an Xbox.
The red ring of death.
I'm not gonna lie. The one guess that I have like legitimately had, like the way that
He's gonna
the way that
propose.
it's made.
Eddie's right.
Oh,
What if it's a ring?
Got me
I did my
going in
one actual
circles.
guess is like a ring, especially
a
because what if
custom-made ring.
A purity ring, I'm sure.
Because
A purity ring.
my clues have just been
Promise
leading her
ring,
in
that's what they
circles.
call
What
it.
if
I was
that's
gonna
a hint?
say
What's a purity ring?
it's a promise that you're gonna stay a virgin.
Oh no.
Stop.
No, the other one when you give it to a girl, but it's not quite.
It's
into
a
the
promise
ring.
ring.
Yeah, promise ring. That's what it is.
She's gonna get a purity ring, and he's gonna wear a chastity belt. Apparently,
I
so
called it.
Stop. Oh my! I have a story about that actually.
Is it from where you're from? Is it a story from?
Oh, maybe we're getting some clues.
No, but it's a college story.
Like, so my friend was wearing a Dixie flag over his.
I can't. No. One of my friends. I used to work at Starbucks back in the day, guys, in college.
Yeah. Was this in?
I'm not telling you where
Oh,
it
of
is.
course not.
And
Well,
so
maybe she went to college.
one
Not
of
where she's
my
from.
That's
friends
true.
like mentioned to me in passing, that his wife likes it when he wears this chastity belt. And I was
I'm
like,
like-
okay, but do you like it? And why are you telling me this?
I'm like, maybe it's just because like,
what
oh,
was the context? Like, why did he just?
he
say
just.
this?
well, maybe she's like, because he can stop poking me. I'm trying to get shit done around the house.
But no. But then he goes, I love it. And he was like, it's exhilarating and I can wait longer and all these things.
Well, I mean, a chastity
There you
belt's
go, guys.
technically in a circle too, so I'm just. It's got to go around the
You
waist.
gotta get your whips and chains,
I'm just
girl.
gonna-
You gotta get your whips and chains.
My family watches this.
You're like the Simpsons
My
thing
hands are
when you
sweating
back
all
up
of a
into
sudden.
the bush. Your mom goes, is there something you need to tell me today?
Oh my god. That's
I mean,
gonna
she
be
does
a
like
ride
black,
home.
so.
All right, before we go into the doorbusters here,
That's what I use for Christmas.
I got a question for you. Is it Carl's Jr. or Hardee's where you're from?
Oh, that's a really good
great
question.
question.
Okay. Neither.
Wait,
Whoa,
what?
whoa,
We
wait,
gotta
no,
have
no, no,
one
no,
or
no,
the
no.
other.
I have a question.
I don't think so.
So real quick, for everybody in chat who doesn't know or just came in, we're trying to figure out where Lexie is from, what part of the United States, because apparently she's not from here, and we don't mean that in like a Trump way. She's not from Sacramento, so
Golly.
we're trying to figure out where she's from. So we've been asking questions, and so far we got nothing.
I have a question.
No. I want that answer because that's a great
said
question.
neither.
She said neither somehow.
I don't think it's neither. Let me.
Oi.
Whoa, don't get. Calm down.
She about to-
check.
We're on to her.
I'm gonna make sure, and then I'll tell you.
She's getting nervous. All
Right?
Wait.
But
She'd be
that,
like, "Dang it, they found me."
right, while she's looking
that
that up,
question
go ahead.
makes me think of a question. Before California, did you ever have or ever heard of Jack in the Box?
No.
So there's no Jack in the Box.
So let me just tell you guys.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Oh,
East Coast.
is she gonna Sherlock Holmes this shit? Right
I think she is.
East
She says it
Coast.
earlier in the podcast when you introduced yourself. You said, "Howdy."
You moved your hand 3 centimeters to the right, which is indicative of this.
But no, so
You blinked twice.
Right?
I'm actually using Kenny to help with this, like using
Ooh.
how, because he's from the East Coast. He's from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he had never heard of Jack in the Box, and he was terrified when I showed him the mascot.
Really?
So,
I
yeah.
guess that is a lot to
So-
take if you'd never heard of Jack in the Box.
It is. I showed him the Super Bowl commercial where Martha Stewart rips off Jack's nose, and it was just horrifying.
Yeah.
What was was
So-
your question?
Hardee's
Hardee's or Carl's
Jr.
Jr.
Yeah.
And
And while she's looking that up, Black Friday's coming up, guys. And
You-
I pulled up usually when you pull up one add, they got the same deals for everybody else. So we're gonna look at GameStop.
Yikes.
Because that's where I have experience.
So we're starting from the bottom and now we're here. Is what you're saying?
Definitely. Yeah.
What about Steam? No Steam sales?
Steam? Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. So there's a plethora of games that you can get, the popular ones that go on sale. And it's kind of funny to see how, the price indicates the success in a lot of ways. Because Fallout 76, anyone want to take a guess what it would take to buy this train wreck of a game?
For Black Friday?
Are we talking about just the game or is it any special edition?
Just the game. Nope, just the game.
For
like a cost, like how much they're selling it for.
Right, in regular sales right now, it's $40. It's a $40 game. Black Friday.
I'm saying they
45.
drop it.
It's GameStop.
40 now.
It's
Black
GameStop.
Friday.
They add $5.
On Black Friday, they
It's
drop
GameStop.
prices.
Knowing them, they'd be like, that means to add money to
I'm
it,
gonna
right?
say 25.
25. What do you
Just
think? What do you think, Nexy?
I think it's gonna be just like I don't care to do math. I think it's gonna be 75% off.
$1, Bob. $1. $1, Bob.
I love that.
Fallout 76 is going to be $12.
What?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
$12.
close.
But I
But
think
why would you get it?
exactly. And
Because they can't get rid of it. That's why they're trying to sell it there, because they
Okay,
can't get rid
That
of it.
reminds
But
me of
here's
the
the thing.
Rage game, the first one, because they
If-
can get rid of those.
Yeah.
And there's so many of them.
But if GameStop wanted to get rid of stuff, you guys know that they would like just throw it away. They would like make it
Yeah.
unusable and throw it away. They
Anybody
do
up
that
for
with
dumpster
things
diving
that
in the
are-
back?
at
They do
GameStop,
that with things that are like good to sell, and they still just toss
Yeah.
it.
at GameStop, it was one way to tell which games were really failures, and that was when you would get the executive command from headquarters to take a certain game, all the brand new copies you have, cut them open, and turn them into used games.
Oh my god!
Really?
Yeah.
They actually did that?
Yeah.
they did that with Rage.
It's like they
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
when they penny them out,
first
it's
one.
called like anything that's in the store that they're either discontinued or don't sell. The GameStop managers have to penny it out,
Yep.
which means it's like leaves inventory. They sold it for a penny or bought it
Yeah.
for a penny, and then they have to destroy it.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
no matter what you saw in there, Jada was our store manager,
Yeah.
and Jada doesn't break the rules. So there'd be like really awesome stuff that we'd have to literally
Yeah.
go throw in the trash can, walk away, get off the clock, then go back to the trash can to get in there to
Yeah.
take home.
That sounds like Jada.
Yeah.
They did that with Magic cards.
Yep.
They did it.
No.
Yeah, when they stopped
Yeah.
carrying Magic the Gathering, they pennied them out across the nation and then just threw them away in mass quantities.
No,
My
As
heart.
a
That
senior
hurts
game
me.
advisor, I know exactly.
Now I
what
know I
you're
have a
talking
heart.
about.
How long
it's
were you?
breaking.
How long were you there? How long
At
did you serve?
GameStop?
How long did you serve?
I was actually there
let's
2
be
years,
real.
but there was so much going on. Like we didn't have a assistant store manager, so like we were trying to be in that phase, and then we had our manager. It was just a lot going on, but yeah.
So 2 years. 2
Yeah.
years in the hole.
Yep.
You come out the other side.
Yep.
You came out better for it. So
But I know exactly what you mean,
yep.
and I cried. I was like, "Why are we?"
Devastating.
Yeah.
I would just pocket anything that I can.
Especially like the trinkets and stuff, like the little like characters and stuff. Sometimes if they were there long, we had to do the same thing. I'm like,
I'm just hurting because of the magic. You said that, and like my heart just broke.
I still have
Yeah.
nightmares. I still
It's
have
like-
nightmares to this day.
it's pretty sad.
Other $12 games include The Division 2, which, I mean, that game's been out much longer than Fallout 76,
Yeah.
so that's kind of expected. Anthem, only $5.
Oh wow.
It's normally only 20. That's one that I think they're going to be doing a lot of cutting up and turning into
Yeah.
used games because that game was hyped.
Anthem, like they spent so much money on like marketing, and their game was just such a flop.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
And then, because I remember like around the same time, Apex was starting to get
Yeah.
more popular, and
That's
Apex
true.
did like zero marketing.
well,
and
no,
they, like,
that's not
skyrocketed.
true.
Well, they did.
Zero traditional
lot.
marketing. They spent the same amount of money, but gave it all to Ninja and
Oh,
and,
that's
all,
fair,
and
yeah.
his cronies instead. But
They
it
did
worked.
smarter.
No, it was super smart.
Yeah.
Incredibly smart.
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Other games that might catch your interest. This one, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the brand new one, $38, and Borderlands 3 holding strong at $30, which I was a little
wow.
impressed by.
Wait, is that the sales price?
That's on sale price.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's still a $60 game.
Wow.
That's actually a good cut for Black Friday since
Yeah.
it just came out, right?
Yeah,
Recently.
but I'm thinking if this game was considered a failure, it probably would have been chilling in the $12
Yeah.
bin with Fallout
Yeah.
76. So
Yeah.
props to Gearbox.
What
2K.
about Outer Worlds? Is it on
Outer
the
Worlds?
list?
Let me look for it. But right now, 2K20, another game that was kind of seen to fail a little bit. $28, holding out strong. Let me look for the Outer Worlds though.
I would be surprised to see if they drop that down a bit or not.
Yeah, because from what I'm seeing, I'm not seeing like the new Star Wars game either.
Yeah.
But I was just I don't know. Let's see.
There is Hardee's, but I haven't been there.
So you have Hardee's in the city you're from.
Mm-hmm.
Hardee's, no Jack in the Box.
Mm-hmm.
Seasons.
I'm
So
getting
it has to-
Seasons.
I'm getting a
Seasons.
I'm getting
I
a-
was like,
having
is that
Seasons.
a
I'm getting a strong Florida vibe,
Really?
what?
but I don't know. It's
What says Florida about her?
Yeah, please.
I don't know
explain.
what it says about her. I'm just saying what I'm gathering. Like,
What are you gathering that sells you Florida?
Hardee's.
Okay.
You've never heard of Jack in the Box.
Okay.
You've had some of the seasons. You said it snowed once, which
I
it's
said a couple of times.
a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then so it's got to be that East Coast little cluster in that area, because the further north you get, the more cold it gets, which means the more it
Okay.
I have a state
Snows.
guess.
A what?
I have a state guess.
Okay.
North Carolina.
No.
Oh, I don't know why that just
What do you think, Eddie? Take
Oh,
your
no, I
guess
still
as
got-
of
I
right now.
still got-
Florida. So is Florida correct?
No,
it's one guess. You get another one. Don't
Okay, is it Florida?
No.
worry. Okay, so now you guys have a little more ammo going in. Let's talk about some of the more recent games. Pokemon Shield and Sword are only $3 off. It looks like it's going to be. Yeah, not much of a break there.
Please,
Luigi.
Nintendo, what do you expect?
That's 100% true. But it must have been a flop, or was Walmart having a special deal? Because the day the game came out, I went to a Walmart at like 7 a.m. because I had to take my mom to the doctors. And so I was like, let's get there extra early. And if I'm going to be sitting in a waiting room, I'm going to have my Switch loaded with some Pokemon. So I stopped by the Walmart, go in, get the game, $49. And I remember thinking like, oh, I wonder if it's not going to be like a complete game. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? But
Like
no,
you got to
it's-
be online at all times or something.
yeah, if anybody in chat knows, let me know. Was there like some big deal I didn't know about? But the game's price is definitely a full price game. It's going to be $57.
Sometimes Walmart like has these weird deals with their SKU numbers, because I've seen people on like Instagram and stuff posting like, go to Target or go to Walmart now. It's a glitch, and so it could have been a glitch.
Okay.
So yeah,
I
they
don't know.
do that a lot.
I got lucky. Other big games that are 50% off right now: Gears 5, WWE 2K20.
No surprise
They
there.
should just be giving that
I
game
kind of want to
away.
play that just because the old ones.
That's like the.
Does it have the ladders? Can I get my belt?
It's got so
Does
many.
it have like the what is it, the arena with the freaking gate?
Oh, the Royal. Wait, no, the Hell in the
The
Cell.
Hell in the
Yes.
Cell.
Yeah.
I love those
You,
games.
you have to recreate that Mankind and Undertaker match.
Yeah.
Throws them off the thing.
My God, he's dead.
Red Dead, $30, and what else we got?
Wait, we're talking Red Dead 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Well, he
man.
didn't say.
Well-
He didn't say. I'll just say.
What'd you
I
think?
mean,
dude?
But Red
Oh, I mean,
Dead
they came out.
one.
They came out
Red
with that
Dead
Red Dead
is-
Redemption Deluxe Edition when around the same time they.
One is expensive.
You have to forgive him. He.
You know what?
He does a movie podcast. is
It's
what it
true.
is. He's moonlighting in
I'm
our
an
world.
I'm an intellectual. I have a sweater.
So are you Mr. Rogers?
I am not Mr. Rogers, but I just recently saw the documentary again and cried my eyes out. Won't
I
you
heard
be my
it's
neighbor?
so good. I need
Yeah.
to go see it. I watched that
So,
growing up.
Yeah, I found it on my Amazon, and I'm like, this might be good to kill about an hour. And I watched it, and I,
He killed
Damn
more
movie.
than just that hour.
oh yeah, like 2 hours in, I'm like, damn movie. Why did you go, Mr. Rogers? So,
For consoles are on sale. Anybody here in the console market? I don't feel
Not
the
at the
need to,
moment.
right?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
considering like that everything is going to be happening next holiday
Yeah,
season, there's no point in
exactly.
wasting your money.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of the mentality. This is going to be the last time that these are the top consoles because they'll be out. And everybody will be
I
trying to
feel
get
like
their hands
people
on
are
it.
going to get more Switches this Christmas.
At least Switch lights.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Switches
I
get
kind of don't know
stitches.
if it's true anymore or even that the market thinks of it that way because, again, in the past, when a new console came out, the games before were useless. Like, it really
Yeah.
was a big deal. When they
Yeah.
launched these new consoles,
That's it.
And all the games are going to be cross play because it's the same thing. You know, it's going to, they may just change the 5 on the box, but that's about it. So I don't know how it's going to drive sales. But anybody trying to drive sales this holiday season can get the 1 terabyte Xbox Slim for $200, and that comes with
$200.
$200. It says save $100.
Xbox Slim?
Yeah. The
1
S?
terabyte?
1 terabyte.
That's not bad for $200.
Get out and grab this deal, people. This is GameStop.
Target? Where is it? GameStop?
This is feeling like those infomercials late at night where they would try to sell those knives.
Wait. Can we have like the music and the soft voice?
Like, you guys won't believe it. This is real buckhorn. I'll tell you what. Look, Kenny, put a clock on there. We got 10 of these right now going. You got to call this number. Be called 12. Ask for item number 4274.
All I could say to you guys after that is, okay, boomers. Wow, that was some boomer shit right there.
Dude, where I'm from, those infomercials were on all the time.
Same.
Like 1 o'clock. Ooh, I got an answer. 1 o'clock in the morning and be like, check out this new samurai set. Tell you what, you can cut a pineapple in less than 5 seconds flat. Look at you.
Oh my god. There was a time when I was just like sitting up at 1 a.m. and I was watching TV and I didn't realize that it was an infomercial and it was just like this thing about like a vacuum or something. I'm like, man, this commercial's been going on for a long time.
These weren't even like infomercials. There were literally people on live TV selling you stuff like, Jimmy, are we really selling the samurai set for this much? All right, we're going to sell it for 20 minutes. Tell you what, we're going to do at $15.99. You get 3 knives all for 1 price.
That's a lost art.
It really is.
More people should advertise on those.
I'm getting homesick now.
Oh man.
Just run through these last deals. If you want the limited edition Xbox One X, though, the one that has, it was the fully loaded boosted one, that's gonna be $350, and it comes with NBA 2K20. That's more of just like a thank you, the 2K20.
Yeah. It's like,
you're not paying for that.
Just take it.
Okay, this is the thing. Why don't you give us a good game?
That's
as like an incentive to actually buy it.
When I signed up for Vudu, the movie streaming service, they instantly gave me the new Ghostbusters movie. I'm like, I don't want this.
Oh.
I'm like, why would you
Can I have a choice?
This? Exactly. Can I just get the service without the movie? You can take it. I'll just delete it myself.
Oh, wow.
Jesus. Did you guys see the news with the Cybertruck?
Yes.
How many of you guys pre-ordered immediately?
Oh,
I've seen a couple of people do
I live.
Really? You have?
Yeah. I've seen like Keemstars said he ordered it and showed his like receipt.
Oh, did he?
Well,
Keemstar,
like,
yeah.
And I was like,
is he buying it for a meme though?
I don't know.
Or does he really think this thing's cool?
I don't know, but I feel like people, I don't know. Like, I'm excited for Cyberpunk, so I feel like people in that space might go get it just to be like, look at my Cyberpunk car.
Cybertruck?
But it's just like,
somebody did a really.
We don't know how well it's gonna go yet.
Somebody did a really great post on Twitter, and they're like, racing games in 2003, and then they show the truck, and it's like, yeah.
That's great.
I saw a lot of people comparing it to the Halo Warthog. They say it looks just like that, old pixelated.
Apparently, that's your surprise.
Yeah. Apparently that's my surprise.
In chat, Kenny, he's chiming in.
I can't even drive, and the Cybertruck is my surprise.
It's the frontal portion of Laura Croft in a vehicle.
It looks like it does look like polygons though.
It does.
It looks like Sony PlayStation 1 graphics.
Mm-hmm. It looks like a development studio's logo with wheels.
It does.
So
it's like if Mario 64 was a car.
Yeah.
That's actually a really great comparison.
Yeah. Did you guys see the stage show aspects of it, like the little fail that they had with the window?
No, what happened?
So they were going through and they were showing like how it's not made out of like the plastic they make our cars out of now. It's made out of like some military grade helicopter
like titanium
metal.
Or something.
Yeah. So the dude takes
for everybody wanted to be an Apache helicopter. Here you go.
Yeah, there you go. And then the dude has like a sledgehammer and he whacks a normal car door with it and it just obviously devastates it. Mm-hmm. And he goes over to the new Cybertruck and bam, hits it in the door and no damage to it basically. And then they're like, and then that's not it. Check out these fucking badass windows we got.
Oh no.
Direct quote. from Elon Musk there. And then the guy walks up with a rock. He's like, yeah, this thing is a little ballpoint thing. It's made for breaking windows. He slams into the thing, shatters it.
Oh.
Hold on, Nixie. Hold it together.
Hold it together.
Hold it together. Oh, man.
Yeah, so that was the meme.
I was trying to take a drink.
I mean, I think that's going to become the new Prius meme. Like, people who have that, be like, oh, you drive that?
Oh, I remember that. There was before, there was a stigma. When you first saw those things, you'd be like, ooh.
Yeah.
You're driving that?
Interesting life choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, stuck in 2003 graphics? Okay.
Do you really think it would be a meme? Because, I mean, I feel like if you had that, you would be bad at
I don't care.
You are the crap.
I mean, you could feel that way, but it's definitely going to become a meme.
I don't care if it ran on air for fuel. There's no way in the world I'd be caught dead in that thing.
Oh, I would.
No.
I would.
Just for the sake of like, all right, quick picture and then out.
Yeah.
No, I would legitimately like.
But you would though. I mean, you would. I mean, that just seems like a very Nexy thing.
I think that this thing is for
nothing. Your boyfriend's really on the hype.
What is this new? They said look up Rivian R1T.
Rivian R1T electric truck.
Yeah, look that up, Eddie. I think it's a spit in the face to like the American trucks.
Yeah.
Because you know how proud to be an American.
Well,
I mean, it
doesn't look like a truck.
It has like a big open bed, and you can put
in the back.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't see that part.
Which is strange because in like most of the pictures I'm seeing too, no one's really focusing on the truck bed itself. But those angles go down like that, and then it's full open.
You know what this looks like to me? It looks like the Batman mobile. And do you know what I mean? It looks like that, so I didn't know it was a truck. I thought they meant truck as in that sense of Batman, like the truck, the tank that he took.
Now you know how they made those cars that looked like the El Caminos, or not the El Caminos, those El Rancheros, those cars that were trying to look like they were part truck.
Yeah.
This is like a truck trying to look like it's part boat, like a little bit.
What?
Just really interesting.
Oh, it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
It's the Majin Buu version. It's just all round everywhere.
Exactly. I feel like it should float. And it probably won't.
I hate it.
I really don't like this.
Yeah.
The ads are saying...
I feel like this belongs in like a doctor's office, like something. It looks like a surgical tool.
I wish I could erase that from my memory.
I really am not happy with that.
They're taking the approach in one of their big marketing pushes. I saw it said stronger than an F-150, but faster than a Porsche 99 or something like that. So they're trying to. They're not trying to.
That's because everybody's trying to get out of the way and not be seen with it. Yeah. That's why. So
I guess so. And the main thing you do is take trucks into the woods and stuff,
right?
Yeah. And like they're not going to have.
I feel like they're trying to be too stylish with this.
Yeah.
Got to break the stereotype with trucks.
Where's the cars from iRobot? I want the cars from iRobot. When are we gonna get those? Like we got the Nissan Z, but where's the cars that like can really move
when
sideways?
Elon Musk decides we're ready, obviously.
We shall pray to Elon.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh my god.
We pray to Elon while we listen to his mixtape.
Exactly. See, now we're talking.
That's the song.
I have one last question for you.
That's
well, because I figured the times. I've been formulating a place, and I think I know where it's at. But I'm gonna ask one more question. Do you happen to have a major? Do you guys grow cotton where you're at?
Yes.
I know where she's from.
What?
You want me to guess?
From that one thing.
Uh huh. So I don't know if you remember. We used to have a wonderful engineer that we used to work with named David. I'm not going to give his last name. Out in the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I remember they flew me out there one time to work with them for a whole week. And he took me through Georgia, he took me through Florida, and he took me through Alabama.
Oh, close.
No,
but close.
Oh, man. See, Eddie walked into that like he was Sherlock Holmes with all the data.
I
but you're there.
And then he got to the thing and he fumbled.
But you're there.
He's there.
So
you're right there.
So let's give it. Nexy, you want to swoop in for the steal? I don't even know how this game works, but there's a steal.
She's like, let me look at the map.
I don't remember geography. It's fine.
You're right there, though.
Hold, please.
So if it's not that, it's got to be Georgia. I don't know. I'm not gonna
Don't spoil it. We're saving it for the end. That's the finale.
Well, there you go. I'm glad I didn't get it right now because then we still have the finale to go to.
This is like The Masked Singer. That's why we're doing this whole segment because I've been watching it so much.
I should have worn my marshmallow head. Marshmallow sponsor.
That wouldn't have helped because we wouldn't know who was under. We're like, even if you take it off, like, who the hell's that? Like, who am I supposed to? Like the lifting of the hat is supposed to reveal answers, not give more.
A complete stranger.
Give more questions.
What if I was Ninja? I'm like sitting with the marshmallow and I lift it. What would you say?
This conversation probably would have gone in a way different direction.
So there's two things that it could be.
Okay.
And my guess of the two is Tennessee.
Tennessee.
10-0.
10-0.
You guys get one more guess. Don't worry. So last thing on the old docket here is that the Stadia has come out.
The Stadia, which I feel bad for because my co-host Spencer actually pre-ordered the Founders Edition.
Oh no,
poor guy.
So I actually haven't asked him about it. I was with him last night when we went to go see a movie.
I'm gonna need him to get his money back.
But I he hasn't. The thing is, when he gets new things like that, when he gets new games, he usually talks about it. Like he had been on that Fire Emblem game for like forever, and he talked about it all the time.
So that's a thing that's common with Fire Emblem players.
Yeah,
if you play, you let people know you play.
Well, he hasn't really said a thing about the Stadia since he's got it, which was not this week, but the Friday before.
Okay.
And
no word.
No word. So I'm a little actually concerned. I almost feel like I should call him right now and ask it.
I had two friends of mine who it came up and they said that they canceled their subscription thing or their pre-orders. So,
really?
Yeah, and that's when they found out about how limited the titles were going to be.
Yeah.
Then they panicked and announced a few more. But now it's out, and what are people saying overall?
Well, it's kind of skewed. You have obviously the hardcore gamers are like, oh, just give it a chance, whatever. But the majority of people are just like, dude, this looks like a monumental flop. It's all over Twitter.
Yeah.
People are laughing at the lag that's going on with the system because unless you have really high speed internet, you're going to have some type of lag due to everybody else using it. People are giving it mediocre scores. Game Informer gave it a 6. Wired gave it a 6. IGN gave it a 6.
I think that's being generous too.
That's being very generous. And then to top it off, Google sent out an email saying that for the best performance with your Stadia, don't stream movies or music to other devices in other parts of the house when playing your game.
So we're going back in time to the modem days.
Exactly. Yeah. So instead of...
Oh, let's give Nexy a history lesson, Eddie. Tell her how it works.
So,
tell her how it used to be,
back in the
Eddie.
day, we used to use something called a modem. And it wasn't just a regular digital modem.
Yes, we did.
It was a dial-up modem.
Dial-up.
That thing used to beep so loud that if you were trying to sneak on the internet... There's no way you could sneak.
Oh, like AOL days.
Back when you used to have to go and get one of those sample discs from Walmart.
Yes.
And then you would make up a username every time, be like, I'm Eddie _1-474 or whatever. And then you would have to make sure that everybody was like on the other end of the house.
Think about that, Nexy. Think about that in your head. We had to go to Walmart to get CDs so we could go on the internet.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then it would take you about 30 seconds to dial into the internet. And then the moment someone picked up the phone, it was like, hello?
You get disconnected from your game. Game disconnected.
I remember doing that in like 6th grade, and I lived with my great grandma, and it was the worst thing because my grandma would get on the phone, and you know the thing does that, and she's like, "What? Get off of that computer!" And I'm like, "Get off the phone!"
She would laugh at her grandma. Apparently, she like.
Damn.
No, I was just like in the middle of my chat on AIM.
Oh my god.
She's like, you've got mail.
Yeah, playing my Neopets.
Oh my god.
And on my tagged account, which is the Facebook.
Tag. I remember. So, small little piece of information about me, history. Tagged is what started me getting into press screenings.
Really?
Way back when. So, they used to do press screenings back when I was like in 6th grade, and I got on Tagged and became part of their influencers program at the time.
Oh my God.
You were huge on Tagged?
No, I wasn't huge.
Oh,
I just
wow.
No. I just got
I
on.
might have saw you on the front page.
Did he just say he was the ninja of Tag?
No, not even close.
Ninja, come at us.
But like
We
I
have
got
a tag
tickets to like
influencer.
I remember one of my first press screenings was Biker Boys.
What?
Oh, okay.
I remember going
That's
to like an
sick.
early screening of Biker Boys, as well as a couple other movies that had come around. Like,
Tag was awesome.
yeah.
And then it just fell off, and then MySpace became a thing, and then you had that guy as your best friend.
Tom,
yes.
You can never get rid of Tom.
He was your best friend.
Tom was always your number one.
Nexy, do you have any thoughts on any of this?
I'm just here.
Her mind is blown.
Not really.
We used to write on paper and send it with a piece of
parchment. We called it.
We called it parchment.
Now they just go
call mail. They called it call mail.
I don't know. I
feel like
my
a jerk.
bird for that.
They're going too far.
Did they? So with the Stadia going on, did they? They said you don't get off the internet if you want it to work right. And then any other feedback?
Well, right now there's only 12 games available with the Stadia.
Wow.
So you got Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You got Destiny 2, the collection. You have Guilt, Gylt, Guilt. You got Just Dance 2020
on Stadia.
On Stadia.
How does that work?
I have no idea, to be honest. Like, what would they have to use? Like the Kinect or something?
Yeah, connector. What is it? Nintendo. I can't think of it. The Wii.
The Wii bar.
Or
Red Dead 2.
Well, the way that it actually works is you use your phone.
As the
really?
controller.
Yeah. You hold your phone for Just Dance.
No.
If you play,
So if you get a phone call, you're
screwed.
Your avatar
your
explodes.
Combo? Yeah.
It explodes in an array of pixels.
There's quite a few games. It looks like more than 12, and a few on the
well,
way.
14 on the way, but yeah.
But this is kind of weird. Does this not feel like a real launch of a new gaming platform or a console to you guys? Like, do you guys feel like, okay, guys, it's PlayStation, Xbox, and Stadia, baby, let's go?
But I feel like nothing's ever gonna replace like the actual fixture of having a real PC to play on in your home.
Yeah.
Because because you're the one who actually had told us about how you had tested cloud gaming way back when.
Yeah, the Shadow PC people.
And what were some of the selling points for that?
Well, it was good, but it ran itself way different. Like, this is like basically closer to a VNC into like a server computer you have out there. And
so a server, not just kidding.
And they do some really crazy stuff to make it where there's pretty much zero lag in those games, but it's like you're using an entire computer. It's not, and then you buy your Steam library that you already exist. You can play on this thing. So it's different than what these guys are trying to do, and they're calling it the Stadia.
Can you get achievements through this thing for the games that are on it?
I'd assume they have like Stadia points.
Yeah, probably.
But what could you use those for? And then what happens if it
you get a virtual
up?
high five?
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you get to do?
You get that sense of existential dread.
Oh my god!
That false
in other
sense
words,
of
a day in the life of Nexy.
You're not wrong.
I think what it needed, and I'm not even trolling here. What Stadia really needed was a stupid cartoon character, like icon thing,
like Crash or something.
Yep, and then a exclusive series from it.
That would have been
That's
interesting.
True.
I think we need that in today's thing because it still comes down to those maybe it doesn't have to be that amateur, but they needed to have exclusives.
Yeah,
because it's all about the exclusive. That's why Tomb Raider to me will always be like, oh, it's on Xbox now, but that was a PlayStation game, and so it's associated with PlayStation.
Yeah.
Halo is Xbox. It's just always going to be that, and that's what delineates the company. It's the culture of what those games were. Stadia's coming in out of nowhere, and it's it just plays everything that everybody else.
I didn't even know it dropped.
Honestly,
like it
slipped under the
like
radar.
when Xbox drops something or PlayStation,
it's huge.
like, and then you have the community groups. Like, I didn't even know this dropped. I was like, oh, like, it didn't feel right.
Yeah,
because even if you think of like classics, like Nintendo had Mario, Sega had Sonic. I mean, they're iconic because you remember them being affiliated with the release of those systems. This I don't really know if there's anything to remember.
They need
about
that character.
Stadia just has disappointment.
That's their character.
They need.
Here's your Stadia with a sense of depression.
They need Greg the Google Goose.
Oh my god!
And
The Google Goose.
And he just needs to have like adventures that side scroller and just compete with Mario or something. I think that's how you
isn't
make
that isn't that Goose game on
Goose
the
game?
Switch now?
The one that's going to win all the awards.
That would be awesome if they would have partnered with them or something and made that happen.
Going back to the Cybertruck, did they partner with Cyberpunk?
Yeah,
they did. They interacted on Twitter.
They did, and that was like the huge thing. I think like it was not supposed to be leaked, and maybe someone leaked it or something. It's what I'm getting from that.
The thing
Cybertruck
is that
2020.
like From some of the stuff that I've seen, I haven't seen like official announcements of it's like, oh yeah, it's 100% going to be a thing.
Yeah.
But Cyberpunk 2077 did reply to Elon Musk's tweet saying, "We had a deal, Elon." So it's like,
did they like it or not? That's how you got to see if the official account liked it, and then you'll know if they were cool with it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If they ignored it, they're like, I can't like that.
Yeah.
I can't associate myself with
they
that.
had like the side eye emote kind of going on, or emoji going on. So it's like,
That's sad. Yeah.
maybe.
That's one of my favorite things about running a social media account for energy. Like, you see those tweets sometimes that you want to like, but you just can't, man. Because responsibility.
Yeah.
Wow, what a good show. We had a lot to talk about. You know what?
We got one more guess.
Yeah, you do get one more guess. So let's start with Nexus. You get one final guess.
Final guess of where?
Yeah, what's the state?
Well, then I'll go with my other guess of the two that I was going to say. Because I said Tennessee at first, and the other one, because it's the bordering states of, what was it? I don't
Alabama.
know. That's my, Mississippi.
Yes.
It's
There you go.
Mississippi! Oh,
From
let's
Mississippi,
go.
y'all. Y'all.
Wow, the y'alls come out.
I don't say it a lot, but I'll say like y'all once in a while, and people just don't get it.
I'm from
They're just
Texas,
like,
so whenever I'm around
that's why
other
you
people
say
from the
cotton
South,
and stuff.
yeah.
What-
So,
Wait, what does he say?
And then he was like, and y'all, and I was like dying. I was like, he has to be from the South.
I raised
That
up in
was
San Antonio.
great.
Yeah, that's
Okay. Those infomercials in the middle of the
man.
night, I will never forget. That had me dying.
I would stay awake at night just to catch that and be like, "Why are you so tired in the morning?" I bought 3 knives.
Dang.
That's great.
So,
Good job.
Yeah, you crushed it. You're from Mississippi.
There you go.
Nexy, you said you're getting all this motivation. I saw that you're you opened your commissions again. So if anybody listening on here wants to be a Twitch streamer and wants to get those emotes, hit up Nexy on social media. Are you going to be on stream?
I'm going to be streaming soon. I'm probably waiting until after Kenny moves in, because he's moving in. He's driving. So
Whoa.
it's a 4-day drive, basically.
Wow.
You got to make him listen just to love songs the entire way.
So
I would drive 1,000 miles and
Either that or like Gregorian chants of like people being burned and whatnot. It's just the romantic stuff that they talk about.
Exactly.
Listen to some Judas Priest.
There you go.
But it's a 3,000 mile drive.
Wow.
Because he's going
3,000.
from New Hampshire to California, so he's going coast to coast. And so I'm gonna wait until we get him like completely moved in, everything's set up, because that's basically what's been like filling all of my time right now, is just kind of like making room. So
dang.
yeah,
All right. Are we gonna see couples streams and all that?
Yes.
All right.
Ooh.
He did some move out marathon streams, so he was like kind of doing sellout streams to earn money to help fund this trip. And one of his goals was a stream where I do his makeup, and I'm very excited for that.
Oh.
We reached that goal already. We reached that night one, I think. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Damn. Good thing you came this.
I love the chat. 30,000 or 3,000 miles. Shit, that better be worth it. That's facts right there. Though.
That's funny.
50-hour drive, he says. Good
Easy.
Wow.
Lord.
Yeah. It's gonna take 4 days.
Easy GG. He's a leaguer.
So
He already knows the language.
so he'll be here on December 9th.
All right.
Is kind of the currently that's where we're like
You guys are just going to
thinking.
make content
Yeah.
on the Twitch.
There
That's
you go.
sick.
Very cool.
content.
Awesome.
Eddie, what's going on with you, man? Where can we listen to Filmlosophy, and what's the next episode?
You can check us out on the website at filmlosophers.com. You can also check us out on every streaming platform from iTunes, Google Play, Libsyn, Player FM, Audio
Pandora
Boom,
Radio.
Pandora, and
Yeah.
Spotify. We got an upcoming episode where we're going to be talking about. Actually, we're going to be dropping it this week, right before Thanksgiving, on Knives Out. So
Nice.
we got an early screening of that, and we're going to be talking about that.
Cool.
So
All right, and then Lexie, we got to get you on those Black Friday deals so then we can set up your stream.
Mississippi Lexie.
But you just have a message that you'd like to get out to everybody? Just some words of affirmation?
Be kind, love one another. World peace.
You guys can find me on Twitter. Again, if you play League, I play League a lot. So.
And you have some Discord servers that are popping.
Yeah, I have Vicious Guy OG. So if you would like to be invited to it, hit me up on Twitter. Like Cory said, I'm trying to work on my streaming because I kind of used to stream, so I'm trying to figure out setup and stuff. I don't have material, so any advice, drop me some DMs on Twitter to help me set up.
All right. And as for me, you can always find me same place, same time of week, right here on Video Game Bang. All right. I don't know how to transition from that outro to my normal outro. So for Eddie, Nexy, Lexie, my name is Cory saying you've just been banged.